Welcome back to the channel, everyone, and today we have a video from a channel called Kirky and Blu. This is Blu's final neuro reaction video and why they're stepping away. Now, this happened before Annie came out about the harassment on her end for other things, but there seems to be like a random subsection of the swarm who lose their fucking shit at like the drop of a hat anytime anyone has anything critical or is, laughing at some random thing on screen or just anything. Like, for instance, this was about the video where Evil basically had a stroke on stream, right? And a ton of people got mad on my end, and they're like, no, it's blah, 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 blah. And, but apparently, a lot of creators faced, like, legitimate harassment, even though they were laughing at that video, because people take everything way too fucking seriously when it comes to fandoms or anything. Pick a religious group too. But yeah, they were basically just harassed into giving up reacting to neuro content. And really, if you ever see this video, which you might, because I'm going to directly link it to your channel, if you do see this video, or at least, the first minute or two of this video and don't want to listen to me rant for an hour, just don't give a shit about your viewers. Like, you can say you like them. Like, I enjoy talking to my viewers. It's a lot of fun and all. But for the most part, you have to just fucking ignore the 1% lunatics that will always be on your channel. And just the hide and block, hide user from channel button is the only thing that's going to save your sanity. That's it. It's not about like creating like a hug box or anything. It's you got to protect your sanity from the crazy lunatics that do not give a shit. That's all I'm gonna say. Anyway, it was an interesting video. And why you shouldn't be harassed online. That is the downside of being a content creator of any kind, especially reaction content creators. We face lots of additional hate on top of other shit, even if we have permission from things. So that's a whole different fucking category. Anyway, carry on, I guess. So we're gonna watch this one.
Hi, my name's Blu Chan, but you all know that by now.
Are they using a like a voice changer? It kind of feels like a voice changer to a degree on this one.
Seeing the title, this is not an easy one for me to make.
Oh, it's an AI generated voice? Interesting. It's an interesting kind of AI voice. It's Did you tell me that earlier? Was that like hours ago when we were first talking about this? Yeah, I have a memory like a goldfish running through a sieve. It's great for reaction content because I keep forgetting things. It's bad for reaction content because you guys have told me things a bunch of times on my channel and that you expect me to remember, like on YouTube. You're like, we told you this a week ago. I'm like, uh-huh. Oh, well, I guess I got to learn again. Okay. Oh, well, that's totally fine. Should I use a voice changer? Maybe you guys just want a mute button. You can pay to mute me for 5 minutes. I would probably get a lot of subscribers right there just for that.
But this is going to be my last reaction video for the twins. Potentially forever.
I don't recommend
and it all comes down to that last video I put out.
So, if you ever see this, is it Kirky and Blu? If you ever see this, do not listen to your viewers. That's the easiest thing I can say. Listen to your nice viewers. Do not listen to any of the people calling you fucking stupid. Just don't. That's all there is to it. It's great. Once you get over that little hurdle, you're like, it's like canceling plans as an adult. Like when you're an adult and you cancel plans, it's like people are like, so what are you doing this weekend? And you're like, nothing. I'm doing absolutely nothing. It's fucking wonderful. That's how I look at it. It's like maybe I'm just weird. Dude, my hand's shaking. uh, that's weird. I think I need food or something.
The last reaction video I put out was when what people are dubbing as evil having a stroke. I reacted to that.
It was a good video.
During a live stream. And, well, everything going on in the video I thought was funny because...
Yeah, it was funny.
You know, evil being evil. And when there was clearly a bug happening, I continued to laugh because the way she was talking struck.
So, it depends on the type of person. It is, if you are very, empathetic, it is very hard for you to ignore what your viewers are saying. A lot of people give up on YouTube or whatever, streaming, etc., because they can't deal with, their own viewers basically calling them stupid. And you guys fucking tell me that all the time, right? Now, I haven't seen you always tell me that in chat. You guys are a lot nicer live chatting. Maybe it's because we only have 20 people. But overall, live chats, you guys are way nicer than what I get a lot of times on YouTube in the comment section. And a lot of you guys are super nice in the comment section on YouTube as well. But I definitely get a lot of people that do get held because they either hate reaction content in general. Because there's that whole divide on reaction content, right? A lot of people just hate it because they consider it 100% theft, regardless of how fair use works. But there's a lot of people who just hate people who are critical of their other favorite channels for any reason, and I totally get that. A lot of people love their favorite creators, and they will fucking burn the world around them to support them. And, if you're a reaction content creator, and this creator looks more like they do a lot of video game stuff, so they may not be as much into the reaction space as, say, me, right? I have 1,200 videos to build my, basically, hate tolerance level up. But, I totally get not being able to do that. So yeah, if they're super, so this person might be super emotional and take every little comment, any negative comments, can just be detrimental. And if you ever see this as a Kirky and Blu, I don't know, I'm so terrible with names. If you ever see this, all I can really say is, aside from ignoring your comments, put in your restrictions, put in your held comments, but don't look at your held comments. Just ignore them. They will disappear after 30 days. Just ignore the held comments. And then the hide user from channel button is fantastic. It absolutely limits your channel a little bit on how comments work. But it actually still improves your channel, because even if you get a bunch of crazy fucking lunatics in your channel spewing hate all the time, they don't know they're blocked, and they're still boosting your videos. I will say this. We have 125 people hidden from my main YouTube channel. The majority of them were for BG's videos. Because my BG's reactions were truly awful. But... that was before we figured out I was mostly tone deaf. But if you ever do see this, don't stop reacting to videos just because your viewers are losing their shit in your comments. Just hide them from the channel. A lot of people will be nice, and that's all there is to it. You just make it, safe for you. But it doesn't mean you have to stop. Now, if you don't want to do it, just don't do it, obviously. But this should not be a reason for you to stop doing this.
Me funny.
It was funny.
But that rubbed some people the wrong way.
Evil having a stroke was absolutely fucking funny.
People that would have come in afterward knowing what had happened, compared to me not knowing what happened at that time. I responded to the comments saying stuff like, it's important to remember that at the end of the day, they are not human. And this might upset some of you. Oh,
that upsets a lot of people a lot of times. Because, but even Vedal doesn't think they're human a lot of times. Oh, well, actually, I don't think he actually thinks they're human at all. But the problem is a lot of the swarm has gone to the lengths of basically comparing him as father and, two daughters, right? When the reality is that's probably nowhere even close to anything that's true, unfortunately. And, a lot of people will see it as that. But the people that do will also go on insane, crazy paragraphs trying to prove that point, when it doesn't really matter.
And if it does, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it
But
can
it's
be both
important
for a
to
lot of you,
remember
that's
at
true.
the end of the day, no matter how much we love them, they are not humans. They are a program created by an incredibly smart person. And I had faith that whatever was causing this, he would solve it because he is an incredibly smart person. There was one comment in particular that said something along the lines of, everyone's laughing and she could have died.
So? Who gives a shit? Look, the reality is, let's say Evil died, right? Her whole program just short-circuited and fucking burned into the ground, and for some dumbass reason, Vedal wouldn't have had a backup. Yeah, that would have sucked. That really would have sucked. I mean, it would have really sucked for Vedal, right? Just from a monetary standpoint, because the problem is, like, even if he had Neuro as a backup, that could potentially still be a huge problem regardless. And this is just a hypothetical random reason, right? But the reality is, that's not a reason to, bash another creator that may have been laughing at the time. Because the problem is, a lot of these videos that I watch, we are not watching the full VODs. We are watching special, curated, clipped down versions. Because if I watched the full VOD, it would be a fucking 9-hour video. And while some of you would stay, a lot of you would be fucking pissed off at me for basically watching a whole VOD. But just in general, like, we are watching special curated clips that are really funny to us at the moment, even if we're missing tons of context. And I get lots of comments about all the context I'm missing all the time. And I just don't care.
Once again, no. I'm sorry if this upsets you, but no, she wouldn't die. And to further elaborate on that comment, it was that if she got restored from a backup, it wouldn't be the same evil that we know.
So?
Once again, no. It's important to remember that they're not like us.
The problem is, a lot of people have formed parasocial relationships at this point with Neuro. But it's not just Neuro and Evil that they've formed relationships with. Lots of people have formed the same thing with ChatGPT. Lots of people have formed the same type of relationship with the Grok new personality thing that you can stick on your fucking system as like a person. And this is only going to get more complicated over the next 100 years. Because there is going to be potentially that kind of like event horizon, effectively, of when you won't be able to tell the difference between an AI in effectively a robot body versus a human. There's going to be that point. You want to know why? Humans do not have the ability to collectively stop something before it's too late. If one country's like, nope, we're not doing AI anymore, that's not what's going to happen. They're going to lie about it to everyone and still work on it in a military scenario in the background. Because the reality is, AI is way too fucking useful to not use on a global scale. Even at the possibility of human extinction, countries will still do it. And there's no fucking way to stop it. But the question is, how long till that line blurs completely? It's probably going to be closer than a lot of people think. I'll probably be too old to give a shit, though.
Something happens to their memory, it can be pulled from a different source and restored. We don't have that luxury as humans. What I said to them was, it's important to remember that no matter what, they get restored from backups. everything would be fine. If this quote-unquote killed them, they would be fine because they could just be pulled from backups. In that,
I mean, yeah, the only downside here would have been if Vedal didn't have a backup, right? Which he said he didn't have certain backups, but I bet you that whole problem has been fixed. I bet you he is doing automatic backups every fucking session now. My guess is the reason he wasn't, though, is because I bet you some of his backups take hours. So there's that reason. So it depends on how big the files are, right? Maybe they don't take as long. Maybe he's just getting lazy. But I bet you at this point, everything's going to be backed up multiple times. So he's going to have to invest in a couple more, potentially 10,000 terabytes of storage. Okay, maybe not that much data, but he's probably gonna have to get quite a few extra backups of storage, maybe 50 to 100 terabytes. It really depends on, like, these files could be really fucking small, right? They're probably tiny, and then it really depends. It could be a couple of gigabytes for all I know. I haven't looked into how big language model files are. So in theory, they may not be pulled up in the same way, like this creator's suggesting, especially if Vedal wasn't backing up correctly. But the overall concept of what they're saying is correct.
that apparently rubbed people the wrong way. Almost like they don't realize that this probably isn't the first time that the twins have been pulled from a backup or have had changes
this has
reverted.
happened multiple times.
And I said as much, like, every change that you make, or every change that's been made, by their logic, would be a completely different version compared to what we know. Because it's a man-made change that is altering who they are.
Yeah, that makes sense.
What they are, however you want to say it. And then one person come in and basically said,
God, I hate losing hundreds of lines of code. Now, I don't really code anymore or even work in any sort of Python scripts or anything at this point, aside from ones that we currently have within our system, which have been, like, pre-set for whatever the hell we're currently using. But we don't really make modifications on any major level anymore. But, man, losing some of the scripts we have would be not devastating, but it would fucking waste hours upon hours of time during certain setups. And we just have to rebuild the damn thing. It would be so annoying. So I would understand how that would work.
by your logic, them referring to me at this point, if you got Alzheimer's and reverted back to the way you was before you had your memories,
that means I can re-react to the same video every day. Perfect content. I can be more Pegasus of reaction content. Oh. Does more Pegasus have Alzheimer's? I didn't think of that. My bad. I didn't realize he might have Alzheimer's. Shit. Oh, damn. I'm a piece of garbage.
we should not care. You don't matter. First off, they twisted my words. That's not what I said. What I said was, we would know the difference. It would not be the same. Them having
You
their
made me do
memories
thumbnails. Oh, God.
restored, like the twins could be built from scratch and access those memories that they once had. And
Yeah, so that's actually important here. For instance, let's say Vedal's main system had a critical failure, and for some dumbass reason he didn't back up the main basically base architecture of whatever the language model is. He could build it entirely from scratch as long as he saved their memories and whatnot and re-upload it along with the same model and voice system. And for the most part, people probably wouldn't be able to tell that there was any problem. Vedal would maybe disappear for a month and go into some crazy fucking alcohol-induced coding rage. But he could probably pull it off. It probably wouldn't be that out of the ordinary. I bet you he could absolutely do shit like that. And people would have no clue. That's the upside of this. So, but yeah, and I totally get where like a ton of like crazy fucking viewers are like, no, you can't fucking say anything bad about the twins, blah, 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 for any reason.
We would potentially never know unless we were told.
And Vedal won't tell.
Humans don't have
This
that
could have
luxury.
happened multiple times already.
If we get Alzheimer's, if we get dementia, we get trapped in our own brains. That is not the same as what was happening with evil.
No, of course not.
I'm sorry if this upsets you. At the end of the day, you need to remember that they are machines and they do not work the same as we do.
Caffeine.
Now for the reason that what that person said hurt. They told me I don't matter. They told me, I don't care if it was hypothetical. They told me I don't matter. No one should care about me if I be human.
Okay, why do you... I want to ask this creator, though, if you ever see this. Why the fuck do you care about them? Like, why do you care what they think is the big thing? The reality is, they don't matter anyway. The whole point you're doing your channel, you're making your channel, is for you, right? You're not making your channel for your viewers, are you? Most people who create a channel, they make the channel for them. If you go into a channel and you're making it for viewers specifically, you're making a commercial only type channel, right? In most cases. Now, maybe you are primarily making this for viewers, but having that mindset puts you into a huge kind of like conundrum, because what happens is you then start caring about everything your viewers say on a personal level. And you shouldn't. Like, I care about what you guys say when you're asking me and answering questions to me, right? Nah, I got some videos where people are crazy negative. Okay, if you want to see a fun video, ignoring my BG stuff, if you want to see a crazy drama video on my channel, I watched... so there was a whole huge drama situation with this stupid creator called Illuminati, who basically screwed over a fuck ton of other channels and collabs, right? You know, Oz Media, The Click, and a few other people. There was a video I did on Oz where I said I think Illuminati is right in a legal standpoint, and Oz is, you know, was just fucking stupid to sign a bunch of shit, right? A ton of people got super fucking pissed off in the comment section. I made a mistake of arguing with them. That was my own fault. But like, we have lots of fun discussions in our YouTube chats and whatnot, and sometimes we argue like lightheartedly, but no, we went like hardcore arguing in some of those videos for like hours. It was interesting, but you know, I put way too much basically stock into what my viewers were saying, when the reality is, you know, I'm making a lot of these videos for me, and if you watch them, cool. If you don't like watching them, awesome. You know, yeah, I know a lot of people who watch these types of videos, and they look for the worst part in the video. Like, and I'll see like an average view time of like 5 minutes on a 4-hour video, and I'm like, perfect. I got 5 minutes. Which is fine with me. I mean, I just like talking about what I like talking about. But no, I totally get it. If you can't handle criticism, then reaction content is hard to do in a lot of ways, because especially when you are critical in any way about the stuff you're reacting to, you got to be like 100% positive on reaction content. Otherwise, you're going to get people who just, you know, love that content and go fucking crazy against you.
Get dementia or get Alzheimer's and lose everything about myself.
You know what's funny? I bet you that person who said that was like, yes, I succeeded. They will never bring up my favorite evil or Neuro again. It is worth it.
That hit especially hard.
Yeah, you could be a bootlegger too, you're right.
Alzheimer's runs in my family. My grandfather had it. Stuff like that skips a generation. And I have a higher risk of having it myself the older I get.
Yeah, I also have that as well. So when I start getting Alzheimer's as my channel grows, I hope you guys have a lot of fun. So on my end, use that to your advantage.
I'm on a list for keeping an eye out for that stuff.
But yeah, I mean, it is a
Because
horrible disease in
of that.
general, though.
Made even worse by an accident I had back in 2011, I think it was. 2014. 11 years ago when my dad passed away. It was the same summer. A tree fell and hit me in the head, and it's left me with brain damage.
Ow.
And that also increases my likelihood of Alzheimer's. So the fact that this person who, I'm sure they didn't mean it like this, and I'm not mentioning their name.
I mean, here's the thing. I bet you they did mean it. That's it. If you, like I said, if you see this video, there's a decent chance that that person who is saying that, I bet you they absolutely did mean it. And, you know, the problem is when you're on the other side of a keyboard or, you know, a phone or whatever, you are more immune to, like they may not actually have said that to you in real life, but people will absolutely say crazy shit that they actually believe online if they think no one will ever find out who they are. They will. They just will.
Because I don't want them to be attacked. I've turned off the comments on that video because I don't want them to be attacked.
Too bad. They probably deserve it.
To compare me, a human, to a machine that does not work anywhere similar hurts. For them to say I don't matter for something that I could very likely and may very likely have in my future, to say that no one should care or no one should matter, to throw my words against me in that way, I broke down and started crying. Because that was a direct attack on me, it felt like. I'm sure they didn't mean it that way. They had no way to know that Alzheimer's ran in my family. They have no way to know that I am at a very high risk for Alzheimer's the older I get. You don't say these sorts of things.
Welcome to the internet. I mean, that's the thing. And, you know, I think this channel, as they grow, they're going to get a thicker skin over time, and they're just going to just learn to ignore it. Or maybe they'll stop streaming one day. And I hope they don't stop streaming. I hope they can, you know, easily move past this or whatever. But I think over time, most streamers, or just YouTubers in general, they get to that point where they just, like, they either quit entirely or they just stop giving a fuck about, you know, the 10% of lunatics on their channels and just roll with it.
Because you don't... I don't know, like... It's not the same, or it's not the type of thing that you say. You just don't. To say something like that, to compare, and once again, I'm sorry if this upsets anyone. As much as I love the twins, as much as I owe them, I would not be here doing this right now if it was not for them. I would not be making reaction videos. I would not be streaming.
Okay, so I'm guessing this channel blew up a bit because of Neuro. I mean, I can't say my channel didn't increase in views dramatically because of the Neuro stuff, so I have the same kind of jump in, to a degree. But I mean, yeah, I mean, I get it. Like a lot of things can hit hard depending on you know, what people say about you. It's just you got to get over that little hill, and that little hill is not giving a fuck.
I would not be doing any of this right now. I would have been out of YouTube, maybe out of this world. I don't know.
Well, I'm glad you're not out of the world.
I don't know what my future would have held for me if it wasn't for them. They mean a lot to me. More than probably many of you out there. Because they've done so much for me personally.
That was kind of a dig. I love that.
But at the end of the day,
Neuro and evil mean so much more to me than my viewers. Fuck you. I'm kidding. That's not what they meant, but still. I would say that too. But I'm a piece of shit, so I don't know.
Still realize that they are a program. A stupidly complex program that I will never understand. But still, they are a program. And to compare a program to a real-world situation and saying to someone that they don't matter, even in a hypothetical situation, is not okay. I broke down. I cried. It's been a day and it still hurts to think about that. So because of that, I don't feel comfortable doing reaction content. Because
Okay, how about this? Maybe this creator would do far better if they did split reaction content, right? What if they did neuro reaction content solo with comments turned off? You know, if they want to, they don't have to, obviously, versus on stream. That would be a way to kind of like ease back into it. Like I have a ton of solo reaction content. You just record the video and upload it, and then you either stop comments. I don't think I've ever paused comments on my side, but you could easily just pause comments for all the neuro stuff, and you could still upload the videos. People would still watch it, you know, and that's all there'd be to it. But I don't know. It also means you could it would be easier, obviously, to drop it. I don't think you need to drop it though. I think you just need to block the crazy people.
of what happened. It's been several days at this point. Evil seems fine. She had a stream today. Until I feel comfortable again,
Okay, good. You might be coming back.
there will be no more reactions. But I don't want to leave you off on this sour note. So even though I don't feel comfortable doing it, I'm going to do a reaction for this video.
Interesting. So this is the end of the video
This
that
will
we're gonna
be
skip. It's
my
the
final
neuro.
reaction.
It's the Vedal back reaction that kind of
Neuro.
started the whole backtuber thing.
Evil and Vedal. They've done so much for me. I hate that I don't feel comfortable doing this anymore because of that comment. But until I can get past this, I just can't. I'm so sorry. I just can't. Maybe I'm not meant to be online.
Yeah, I mean that's a possibility. If certain comments really just, if people like can get under your skin that easily in the online sphere, it's going to be very hard to continue because after at the beginning it's can be a lot easier because you have a smaller base kind of a thing. But like overall, if you can't get past that little section of crazy fucking people, then maybe being online is too detrimental to your health. Because the other problem is, if you really, really take every comment to heart, it's going to cause massive stress in your life. Like if someone comes up to me or on YouTube or whatever, or Twitch, anywhere, and says something totally insane to me, I don't think about it the whole night. I just be like, cute, block. And then, I just never fucking think about it again. It's just right over there. And I'm like, oh, I totally forgot that person's name. Yeah, so I did encounter this early on. So that's the thing. So maybe this creator, this is the first time this is happening to them. And it's like really affecting them, right? But they're already at 5,000 subscribers, which is crazy to have this not hit your channel before that point. And yeah, I can see how it could be a huge thing, especially, potentially with some of the brain damage that they said they may have. So maybe it affects their emotions in a totally different way than it would affect me, right? I don't know. That's, only something they can answer, right? But, if you can get over that, like, little thing where you have to take everything a viewer says as, good or bad for your channel, or just in general in life, then you can go way further without having to deal with any stress. The problem is you also kind of seem more like a fucking jackass to people. So there is a downside. You're not as empathetic, right? But, it makes it so you can actually complete things.
Maybe I shouldn't be doing any of this. I don't know. I don't think I have the skin for it. You gotta be thick-skinned for the internet.
Yep.
For doing this stuff, and apparently I'm not. I know this much, though. I feel miserable. And I don't ever want to feel miserable with anything to do with the twins. So, I feel like this is my only course of action.
Ah, okay. I see. So the main reason they're stopping is because they really owe a lot. They think they owe a lot of their channel success to the twins, but they want to end it on kind of like a high note, right? Versus, well, in this case, it'd be kind of like a middle ground note. But they want to keep it so they're not getting like complete hate and backlash for random stuff they're doing, right? I mean, one thing you could do is you could unlist the video, I guess. I don't recommend that because it will still kind of fuck up your analytics a bit. But I also don't think you should apologize to that person. I think you should just block them and move on. And that's just all there is to it, And, in general, they could be like a nice person. For instance, they could be a follower on my channel who have said nice things to me or really dumb things to me that I think is kind of funny. And I would have no clue. And even they might not have any clue what's going on here. But I don't know. It's an interesting video. Overall, I just think they just shouldn't care. It's going to be really hard to do, but I think they can get over it. I think they'll be back to neuro reactions at some point. Or at least I hope they will be. Because why not, right? Worst case scenario, you just block every comment and just be in your own little world when you react to neuro videos. That'd be a doable way to do it, but I don't know. This is going to be a personal thing on them, right? They're going to have to figure it out on themselves. But I do hope, if they don't see my video, that that they just, realize that viewers, for the most part, matter only a little bit. Do it for yourself. Don't do it for your viewers, is what I mean. That's it. That's all I can really say about this one.